So in a recent video, I was speaking about how I'm allowing myself to play games and all of that once a week. So what I do is on the weekends, if I want to do something like play video games or go out, I'll do it. But I'll try to avoid these activities throughout the week. If it's like going out or seeing the family, I might have some more leeway. But if it's something that's a craving that's not necessarily healthy, like playing games or eating a takeaway, on the weekend only, and if I want to do it on that weekend, I don't force it if I don't want it, of course. Now I'm doing this because I believe we shouldn't suppress ourselves to living a lifestyle in which we are not doing anything that we want to do, or we have something that we want to do and we don't believe in our own self-restraint and we don't believe that we could hold back if we have no leash. So therefore we stay away by all means. I rather tell myself, hey, I am in control of my own actions and I can play this game, I can do this blank statement as long as I get back to work, right? I can allow it for myself. So I've been allowing it for the weekend. So just one weekend has gone by since we started doing this, and it's now Thursday. So yesterday my brother called me asking me if I wanted to play. It had only been a few days since the weekend, so I can tell that everybody's a little bit eager to really play, to enjoy it, because it's a great time, you know, we have a great time together. We have voice comms and somebody dies or, you know, does something stupid and we laugh and all that stuff. And it's competitive, it's just overall really fun. But there is something higher than all of this that I really want to do. So I can't let my lesser desires triumph over my highest one. That's the difference between self-suppression and self-discipline. So my brother calls me asking me if I want to play, and I say, well, yeah, I want to play. Of course I want to play, actually. I really feel like I've been thinking about it before you call me. However, we said on the weekend only, so weekend only, I'm afraid I can't do it now. And then he, you know, challenges me a little bit, saying there's no, like, it's not the law, you know, it's not like rules around it or whatever. No one's forcing you to be this way. And I said, no, you're right. But there's things that I want to accomplish and there's things that I want to do. So I can't just do it whenever I want and, you know, I didn't say this, but become mediocre and strive for less. Otherwise, what am I doing speaking to the camera if I can't do the things that I preach about for myself? So it's like a big deal for me. And he was like, okay, whatever. And the problem is, I did it well this time, but the last time something like this happened, I failed. I was out with my uncle and I'm trying to do a diet of sugars. Now, I know you can have some leeway, and I do. For the same thing, I do. Okay, on the weekends I can have a bit of sugar, a bit of this, a bit of that, but I don't want my skin to get worse. I don't want to gain unhealthy weight. I mean, as you can probably see, I'm fine. Like, I'm not fat or anything. To be honest, I'm ripped. But it's not so much so actually about the fat, but rather the dopamine, right? I don't want unhealthy sources of dopamine from my diet and have an unbalance and all that stuff. I went out with my uncle and my mom and my grandma. We were having a little dessert after having lunch in the new house that we've reformed and that they came to see. So the thing is, my grandma really likes sugary stuff, so we went there for dessert, right? There was a lot of like pancakes, you know, waffles, all that stuff, chocolate, and I love chocolate. It was an addiction in the past. And they also had my favorite drink, which is a Spanish drink called horchata. I fucking love it, it's so delicious. Now the problem with this is that it's got a lot of sugars and it's not actually healthy. A lot of people like to pretend that it is, but it's not. And I didn't order anything. I wasn't even going to pay for it, right? Like my uncle always invites us. This guy's minted. But he looks at me like, you're not getting anything? And why? And I say, I'm on a diet. And obviously my uncle, he sees me. He knows what I look like look like without shirt when we go to the pool and stuff. So he looks at me like, bro, are you on a diet? You got a six-pack, what are you talking about? And he's like teasing me, right, making fun of me. And I say, yeah, but it's not just that. And I'm dreading to say it because I don't want to look like a nerd. And I'm like, oh, you know, dopamine and all that stuff. And he looks at me and he gets close like that. And it's like, exactly what are you talking about? Right? Almost like I'm saying something crazy. Now, I feel pressured and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine. Because he just doubles down. It's like, so you're not going to have a... Okay, fine. I'll have a glass of horchata, please. And I drink it and I enjoy it and it's lovely. Now, of course, if you know the drink, it's not like crazy bad. It's not like I just engulfed some crazy elixir that was gonna ruin my life. In the grand scheme of things, it actually didn't do much at all. It wasn't impactful in my life or my dopamine that much to make a deal out of it. But the problem is that I settled on something that I didn't want for myself. Now, this happens a lot, and not only with family or people you care about, but with the whole world in general. You've probably felt expectations before, if not from your family to become a certain thing, to get a certain amount of training and, I don't know, experience or work, or to go to college, university. If it wasn't from family, it was from the world, to behave a certain way and to do certain things. Now, for the most part, it's not too bad, to say, hey, don't be a maniac and don't run in the street naked. These kind of expectations that you wouldn't do that are good. But what about the limiting expectations? There's an epidemic. Well, you could even say pandemic, because epidemic I think is when it's like into a certain sector only, but a pandemic is global. There is a pandemic of a lack of purpose, of not knowing what we want to do. And arguably that lack of purpose might actually be because of these expectations that we have, right? Of course, there's more things that go into it. It's not only because people expect things of us and now we don't have our own real will, but needless to say, there's something to say about that. Whenever you hear a snapping of the fingers, make sure that you fix your posture and you take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose. Enjoy the video. A lot of us are getting through life not knowing where we're going, not knowing where we want to go in the first place. And a big part of this is we let ourselves be intimidated. This is like the high school bullying all over again. But I think you and I would both agree that there comes a time where enough is enough. And I just wanted to share these little anecdotes with you to maybe incite you to next time that you have something that you care about, right? Stand up for yourself. Don't get peer pressured. If you don't like to drink and smoke, well, don't let your friends force that upon you. And if they do, whatever your entourage is when you're in this peer pressure moment, are they really your friends? Of course, my brother is my brother, so I can't detach just because he's making it hard to my convictions. That's my brother, right? It's not like a friend where I can just be like, hey man, don't you understand that I'm trying to do something here? You're kind of ruining my hopes for the future. You're ruining my spirit. If I go against my own word just because I gave into this craving, what would that make me, myself, towards myself subconsciously? It's not good enough, but I'm not gonna cut off my brother. However, if you're trying to make a change and it is friends or colleagues or whatever that are impeding you or making it tougher for you, and you've had a conversation, a serious conversation, you don't just let go. You have to fight a little bit. If you had a serious conversation and they're still not willing to listen or to help or to not get in your way at least, you should move out of their way and you should let them go with their own path and you follow yours. Now, this isn't like I'm not telling you to live like me, to not have a strict diet, to not do this, don't do that, not go out until it's the weekend, even though you could go out any day. No, I'm not saying that. This is for myself because it's things that I want to achieve that requires this type of behavior from me. And I don't want you to be scared because it is very probable that it will require the same thing for you. I am spending all of this time away from other things because there's something greater that I want to do. Why? Because I love that thing and I want to do that thing. Great. So I'm having a good time when I do it. It's just that, the dopamine or whatever from other sources will be very appealing. It will never be as promised by the mind. So you have this thing that you want to do, right? And you spare no effort in doing it and you do it throughout the entire week. And then you say to yourself, okay, because it is healthy and important, I'm going to relax a little bit and do other things. For me, it is I play a few video games with my friends and I go out to play some beach volleyball and I go see my family, right? And that's fine, I go out, I play inside, I have some competition, it's all great. I'm satisfying my social needs, great. However, when the Monday comes back around, it's good to treat it like an actual job, your passion, you get back on it. And no matter what people say, don't let them get to you. You're doing something that you love to do. Let me quickly break down what self-discipline and self-suppression is. Self-suppression is when you want to do something, you say to yourself, no, I can't. I'm not going to do it because it's bad for me. It could be eating chocolate or it could be whatever. So self-suppression isn't good because you're closing in on yourself. And you're not letting yourself be free. And you should be free if you want to tackle the world with more love. Otherwise, you're going to be caged up, your own emotions are going to be a mess, and blah, blah, blah. Now, self-discipline, on the other hand, is having a goal, having something that you want to do. And that thing is number one. And you're not letting anything, right, go over that thing. So this is number one. Therefore, nothing can go hide the number one. If you have things that you like, but you don't like them and you don't want them as much as this thing, they go under. And that's how it should be. For example, you may really want to get a great body. That's good. Good goal. You should, right? It's important. It's wise for a man or a woman to see what a body is capable of. Well, you may also crave pizza and kebabs and burgers and all of this stuff. Normal. I do. I sure do. But because this is more important, you're not going to just go overboard and completely ignore that. You may say to yourself, okay, I am in good route, I'm achieving great progress, I can have a little bit of this because I've had 10 of these, like 10 gym sessions and good diets, I don't know, whatever. I can have one of these, that's fine. Likewise, this is what I'm doing. You know, I work Monday to Friday, maybe a little more, maybe Monday to Saturday, all day, every single minute. And then Saturday and Sunday, I have a little bit of this because I want it. And this looks like video games or maybe a cheat meal or maybe going out with friends, right? But I'm valuing and I'm still going for that thing that matters the most to me. So as a little call to action, think about something that you want to do, something you care about, something that you know you enjoy doing, and something that could progress into a thing in the future. Do that thing. Set yourself a routine apart. And fear not. If you don't follow it up, right? If you give it up, maybe after a few months, or maybe after a few years, it wouldn't have been a waste. If you lived in it in a devoted manner, in such a serious way, then you would have learned a whole bunch. You would have earned a lot of wisdom for yourself. And these skills can translate to other things. And above all, you would have not only cleansed your mind a little bit, but you would have earned the ability to focus, laser beam concentration into a task, and following it through. And that, in today's age, is a skill that anybody needs if they want to succeed. But the most important part is actually to follow the thing that you want to do. Because for the most part, we're fine. We're not going through economic disasters or complete poverty, so we can focus, since our other needs are met, into something more important. Man, it's hot as hell over here. Anyway, strive to be 1% better every day and add me on Discord. Much love.